You're seeing a very clear demarcation right now. Those that despise the Spirit of God, those that despise the name of Jesus, those that despise the authority, the identity of Jesus, what is that? That is the spirit of Antichrist. It couldn't be any more clear in this hour what we are up against. I've heard so many people say this is not an election of Democrat versus Republican. This is an election of literally good versus evil. And that's exactly what it is. It's true. It's right. This week at a Trump rally, Franklin Graham, who follows obviously the example of his late father, evangelist Dr. Billy Graham, he carefully avoided a political spirit. He presented the gospel before President Trump took the platform and began to speak. And he asked, this is Franklin Graham, he asked for everyone who was present that if they believed in prayer, he asked them then to, in his own words, he said, I want you now to take this moment, in your own words, lift up your voice and pray for a minute or so. And then the sound of fervent prayer just erupted out of that arena. And then Franklin Graham came afterwards and in his own prayers began to release words of life over America, began to pray fervently for Trump. Ben Carson said in that rally, he said, once again, I knew I was in the right rally. Again, of course, I'm pointing to what Kamala Harris said. You must be at the wrong rally. And when President Trump, he said these words, when President Trump said it's disgusting, it's shameful, it's unconscionable for the mutilation of thousands of children here in the United States, scarring them forever and stealing their posterity. Ben Carson said again, he said, I knew I was in the right rally. Let me ask you a question today. Those of you that are viewing, those of you that are listening, are you at the right rally? Hello, are you in the right company? Are you in the right company? Are you in the right rally? I have never, ever understood the apathy that is in the church with Christians that do not vote. Many refuse to even just get involved whatsoever because simply they're not interested. I'll never understand that. There's enough Christians, think about this, there's enough Christians right now in America to stop this insanity, specifically to stop the mutilation of children if they were only interested. And to millions of uninterested Christians who don't even intend to vote, then you've got the thousands of uninterested pastors who refuse to even teach or to motivate congregations. I got to confess to you today, I'll never understand that. I don't understand where they're coming from. I don't understand their lack of interest. Dutch Sheets said this week, and I quote Dutch. He said, the apathy of many in the American church will prove to be one of the greatest all-time disgraces, if not the greatest in her history, end quote. What a powerful word. I could not agree more with Dutch. He's exactly right. The apathy of many in the American church will prove to be one of the greatest all-time disgraces, if not the greatest in all of her history. I want to read you a quote today. This came out of My Faith Votes, quoting out of the Christian Post. And this is what it says. As many as 104 million people of faith, including 32 million self-identified Christians who regularly attend church, are unlikely to vote in the upcoming 2024 presidential election on November 5th, mainly due to a lack of interest. Research from the Cultural Research Center in Arizona, out of Arizona Christian University, shows the findings of the study released on Monday by longtime evangelical pollster George Barna and his team of researchers based on the data that they collected in two related surveys in a national sample of 2,000 U.S. adults during the months of August and September of 2024. That's amazing to me. Listen to those numbers. 32 million self-identified Christians who regularly attend church say that they're really unlikely to vote. Why? Because, in quote, they have a lack of interest. I'll never understand this, folks. I was listening just the other day to senior pastor Gary Hamrick, and Gary pastors Cornerstone Chapel. Was listening to him just the other day. I came across Gary's ministry probably about 10 years ago or less, somewhere around there, because of our affiliation with Wall Builders. Of course, that's with David Barton, and also with Rick Green, with our partnership with Patriot Academy. Gary Hamrick was saying this, and he spoke these words at Pray, Vote, Stand Summit. He says, let me tell you what happens when he's talking about Christians, when we are not involved in the political process. He said somberly, he said, we open the door for every evil ideology to fill the vacuum. Hello. When we decide we're going to check out, we're not going to be involved, we're not going to be politically engaged, and all we do is we open the door for more of the same evil agenda and ideology. Why is it that so many Christians are sitting out on the sidelines? Why is there such political apathy in the world? Because a lot of Christians think that politics is a dirty word, and so they don't want to be involved. And so we will leave the world of politics up to the rest of the world, they would say, and then they wonder why every evil then fills the vacuum. And folks, listen, if you thought the last 35 years, let's just say the last 3 decades were disturbing, imagine the next 3 decades should Jesus return. Should he tarry his return. Think about that. We're one generation from losing what is actually most valuable and most precious and most sacred to us. If you like this video today, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.